Upon entry into the home, I noticed a musty odor, and I see that the humidifier, which is too small for the home, showed levels of elevated relative humidity, and that was confirmed by our indoor air quality air sensors. It also showed elevated levels of dust. The return is in a good position, but it's slightly blocked. The air filter is a standard filter. There is a light layer of dust throughout the return duct. On the supply side, there were some of the vents that I could detach, and taking pictures inside showed debris as well as suspect fungal growth adhered to the walls of the air ducts. This is rather extensive mold growth and would be the cause of the musty odor in the house. There is a duct that had damaged insulation, and under the kitchen sink the cabinet looks fine. However, looking at the toe kick under the cabinet floor showed damage to the subfloor. Excuse me, not the subfloor, but the bottom of the cabinet. The pull-down ladder for the attic is not properly insulated. This is causing a significant heat load on the hallway during the summer. The air handling unit is not effectively sealed or insulated to the degree that code minimum now suggests we have. The air ducts are not sealed, so all of these leaks are allowing conditioned air to slip into the attic. There are some areas where insulation is detached, such as the bathroom skylight. Also, the bathroom exhaust fan does not have an exhaust line that is evident in the attic. I'm afraid it's exhausting under the insulation. The attic fan has been disconnected. There are soffits that allow outside air to go into the attic. However, in some areas the baffles are missing. Other areas the white baffles are intact. So we're able to bring air into the attic. However, there is restricted airflow at the ridge vent, so the air is not being removed effectively. There are areas where the insulation is not covering the ducts or the exposed wood, so we recommend adding enough insulation to cover the air ducts. The downspouts are depositing water too close to the home, so that soil next to the home is becoming saturated and showing up inside the crawl space. At this point where it came through the crawl space door, in other areas where it's rising in the crawl space due to the grade and this close disbursement of downspout water next to the home. This is a carcass of a rather large frog. Underneath the moisture barrier, condensation is forming. It's creating a microclimate that is conducive to insects and bacteria. In the secondary crawl space, moisture is forming, and that moisture is helping to humidify the crawl space, which allows mold to grow on the ductwork. The ductwork is not sealed, so it's releasing air and allowing polluted air from the crawl space to enter the air ducts. These holes need to be sealed. There are also holes in the subfloor that haven't been sealed, the plumbing, the electrical, and the HVAC. The main trunk in the duct looked clean. However, the main trunk with duct liner showed extensive mold growth. Detaching a secondary flex duct from the main trunk shows extensive mold growth within the duct. The flex ducts should be replaced. The air handler that is currently there does not allow for this crawl space to be closed. Here in the attic, we have a need for an attic ladder cover. The insulation in the stairs is inadequate to stop the heat from penetrating into the living space. Additionally, these air ducts are not sealed, so we're losing probably 20%
of our conditioned air into the attic. There's a lot of ducts here and they're not sealed. The insulation is in disarray. It should be repaired. The baffles are also disarray or altogether missing in some areas. The air sealing into the ceiling for the electrical and the HVAC is also not sealed. To improve this attic would be to install the baffles, air seal the air ducts, and add insulation enough so that we're covering the majority of the flex ducts, and air seal all the plumbing holes, electrical holes, and recessed can lights, and repair insulation on this, I guess that's a skylight, and then the attic will be very nice. These patterns are indicative of squirrels, how this is all displaced, little troughs, even though I don't smell or see any at this time. Regarding ventilation in this attic, air is designed to come up through the soffits, and I see a lot of light, so I think we do have good air movement coming up. Then we have a very narrow ridge vent, so it's hard for the air to get out of here, if that even is a ridge vent. There's no filter in it, so actually I don't think that is a ridge vent. We have a control here for a fan, but there's no fan hooked up to it. So when I look at the wood, I see a fair amount of amber color. This indicates that this roof gets very hot during the summer. And I see why now, because there's no passive ventilation in this attic. So when this gets superheated, then that heat is transferred into the ducts and into the insulation and then into the ceiling below. Because these air ducts are not sealed and they've been open to the fiberglass, pollen, and the insects of the attic, I recommend that the ducts be cleaned and the metal boxes with their internal insulation be resurfaced. We have 3 of those. And then of course the ducts be air sealed.